Good morning, everyone. Got a long day ahead planned. I have to go get a haircut first. Military, we like to make sure that we get a haircut every week in order to maintain a professional appearance. Lucky for me, I've been doing it my entire life anyways. I think that it always looks nice whenever you have a clean haircut. So I'm going to go take care of that. And then I plan on going down to Oceanside to my favorite wing spot, grabbing some chicken wings. Hopefully there's no cover charge. I think there's a boxing match today or something like that. So hopefully I can go get some wings without having to pay a cover charge. And then I'll be making my way back home. And then we'll be answering some questions from you guys that I got on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. I just decided to throw on some comfy clothes real quick. I'm going to go get a haircut, so it shouldn't be that long. I'll change up when It just started raining. I didn't expect rain today. All right. But yeah, so throw on comfy clothes, go get my hair cut real quick. I'm going to change out of this and then probably start making my way to Oceanside. That way I can, hopefully beat any traffic that there is out there and get there before the rush happens, because usually when there's fights, they start packing in early. That way they can have nice seating. And legitimately, I'm just going there to grab some food and then dipping out. So yeah, hopefully I can make it there before everybody starts to pile in. Alright, haircut's done, and I got a twofer. So not only did I get my haircut, I got to watch the fight as well. So the Ruiz and Joshua fight, I didn't finish it. It looks like Ruiz is going to take the L, and if he happens to knock out Joshua while I'm headed to the house, then I'll catch it on Instagram. But I also decided that I'm not gonna drive to Oceanside. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings over here in the city that I live in. That way I'm not wasting like 3 hours out of the day, because I got a few other things that I want to accomplish. So I'm gonna go change real quick, and then food it is. Real quick change, go grab food and come back and get some work done, y'all. So my wife and my daughters are in Sacramento right now, which is no fun. I'm a family man, so I enjoy having them home, and right now they're gone. And they won't be back until Monday, so it's one of those things. And I was gonna go and try to meet up with some friends and stuff, but at the end of the day, I think that I'm just gonna enjoy the solitude that I have and go do this on my own. I legitimately went into the house and I went in there to change, quote unquote, and all I changed was my pants. I had on sweatpants, I put on regular pants. I don't like wearing sweatpants to too many public places. I feel like it's lazy and makes it look like you don't care. So to my barbershop, I don't mind, but if I'm going to grab something to eat, I'd much rather have a decent pair of pants on. So yeah, that's all I changed. Anyways, I'm getting ready to go grab food. I'm pretty excited. I'm also excited about the fact that I chose not to waste like 3 hours of the day, because if it's right now like 2:25, if I were to leave to go to Oceanside right now, it'd take me an hour and some change to get there, sit down, eat, and then another hour and some change to get back. And as much as I love the wings from the place that I was getting ready to go to, it's just not worth that time, especially when I have things that I want to accomplish today. So yeah, I'm excited either way. And Ruiz lost the fight, by the way. Most people find it weird to go out and like go grab dinner or watch a movie by yourself. I'm not really one of those people. So for a little bit, I was raising my daughter. I have an 11-year-old, and it was just her and I for a long time. So any break that I got, I'd go and I'd hang out and I'd just be by myself. I didn't want to entertain or interact with anybody. Yes, I'd talk to my bartender or the server, but aside from that, I just wanted to enjoy some me time, you know? So, you know, it's one of those things that I don't think is weird. I remember when I first used to do it, some of my friends would always be like, bro, I'm not letting you go to the movies by yourself or go out to eat by yourself. But to me, it's a little bit of solitude. Chicken wings were good, aside from the fact that I like to order these spicy garlic and then have them sprinkle it with lemon pepper, and I ordered it that way, and they just gave me spicy garlic and then lemon pepper wings on the side. So it was two separate flavors instead of one flavor, and I wanted it one flavor. But I'm also one of those people that I'm really not trying to, you know, get my food sent back. You brought it, I want it, I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat it. So I ate it. Overall enjoyable. I sat next to a gentleman who was outside playing a harmonica, and he was playing Christmas music, and he was explaining to me how he's trying to become a millionaire off playing the harmonica. So that was an interesting conversation. Anyways, Q&A time. All right, so let's get to the real reason why we're here today. On my social media platforms, Instagram predominantly, but on Twitter and TikTok, I ask everyone to ask me questions. It could have been military related. It could have been personal. It could have been just something that you wanted my point of view on. So I got a decent amount of questions that I intend to answer. But first, I forgot to grab my water. Give me a second. I'll be right back. First and foremost, for those that are new here, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. If you are new, please stick around. Go check out my other videos. Hopefully they can provide you with some type of sustenance or some type of information. However, this is my office, y'all. This is where I generally shoot my videos. It duels as my office and my wife's office. For those that don't know, my wife is a certified personal trainer, and we just wanted a little space that we can kind of, you know, remove ourselves from the children and get our work done in. And this is what we came up with. I think we did a pretty decent job. We love the colors, we love the way that everything is set up, and you know, we accented it with all the things that we felt made us feel like we could concentrate. And yeah, this is our office. Anyways, that's besides the point. Let's get into these questions. All right, so the first question I got, the very first one I got is, who is your favorite local artist? And this one's a weird question for me because honestly, I don't really listen to local music. I know when you say local artist, it's usually referring to someone that hasn't made it big yet. But honestly, nowadays, a lot of my listening to anything is audiobooks and podcasts and so on and so forth. However, right now, and this is not going to answer your question, but I'm really into country. Country happens to be my top genre right now, and Luke Combs happens to be my favorite artist right now. So first question down. I don't really listen to local artists, so that's a hard one for me to answer. All right, so this second one is just saying hi, hello, how's it going? Back to everyone that asked that question. The majority of the questions asked were, hey, you know, I'm not here to ask you anything specific, just wanted to say hello. To all those that say hello and took time out of your day to come and say hello to me, hi. It's a pleasure unofficially meeting you all. All right, so next question. What is your favorite snack? Favorite snack. Favorite snack. That's a tough one. You know what? I can never turn down a good family-sized bag of salsa verde Doritos. I'll eat the whole bag by myself, and if anybody tries to grab some, I might bite you for trying to take my Doritos. So I'd have to say Doritos. Favorite snack. which is all bad because nothing in Doritos is good for you, but you know, you gotta live a little. What's one thing besides the training that can be challenging about the United States Marine Corps? Okay, now I apologize. I'm not telling y'all who asked these questions because they're with usernames. And as we all know, some people have some weird usernames, and I'd rather not be on here trying to, pronounce or read out whatever people's usernames are. But one thing that it can be challenging besides the training in the United States Marine Corps is, I'd have to say, this one would be for anybody that joins the military and you're older. It would be having to be led by people that are younger than you. In the United States Marine Corps, we do a fantastic job of taking young men and young women, 17, 18 years old, and teaching them leadership ability, direction, and giving them the opportunity to exercise those leadership skills. And it happens to where if someone that is 18 or 19 joins before you do, and they get that training, and then you come in, a few months after, and you happen to fall within their command, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be the one that is in the leadership position. And with that being said, you'd have to listen to what they tell you to do. And it's kind of hard for older people that have experienced life a little bit, to sit back and listen to what an 18 or 19-year-old has to say when they're like, bro, I'm 25, I've been living on my own for God knows how long. But most people adjust to it well, because the skill set that we give, it really is genuine and it works depending on the leadership that has been given to that 18 or 19-year-old by their seniors. All right, so next question. What's the MOS that travels the most, and which one travels the least? So MOS is also known as Military Occupational Specialty, which means your job. So this person is asking me, which job in the United States Marine Corps travels the most? And I'm not sure that I can say which one travels the most, because all of us travel at some point. If you decide to stick around for anything longer than your first enlistment, you're probably gonna move around. My first duty station was in Hawaii. Beautiful place. If I could go back there, I would. My second one landed me here in Southern California, but in Oceanside. My third one sent me to Okinawa, Japan, and my newest enlistment brought me right back to Southern California. But one MOS that I do know that travels a lot is Marine Corps security guards. Those guys are in charge of guarding the embassies around the globe, so they have the luxury of getting training in order for them to understand and know what it takes for them to guard those embassies. And from my understanding, anybody that has ever gone on MSG, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, because I've never been on MSG, but those guys, they get, depending on where they are, cooks, pretty decent condo, I think a linguist depending on the country if you can't speak the language. You got a gym within the house that you live in. You're wined and dined, and you're enjoying yourself. Not only are you taken care of, but you're traveling the world too. So there are a lot of experiences that come with that. So the one that I'd say gets the most diverse amount of traveling would be the Marine Corps security guard. And which travels the least? Honestly, like I said, we're all going to travel. If you're looking to not travel in the United States Marine Corps, your best bet is going to be to become a reservist in the Marine Corps, which allows you to become a Marine, but legitimately they put you in a reserve unit that is either near your home or your school or wherever it is that you're choosing to live, and they will place you at a base at that location, and that's where you'll be. You won't have to concern yourself with traveling unless you activate yourself to come on active duty. So, all right. I appreciate the Marine Corps questions, but I was hoping for more personal questions, but it is what it is. Best/worst MOS. So this one is kind of similar to the last one, except for they're asking which one is better and which one isn't, which jobs are better. With this one, I'd have to say, this one's hard because it would be biased opinion. Because if it were up to me, I would be a combat camera Marine in the United States Marine Corps. However, I am a communication specialist, and I feel like that happens to be one of the MOSs that I really didn't care for. I'm good at it. I succeed at it. I've won awards for being good at my job. However, if I could choose a different job, I'd probably be somewhere in the media portion of the United States Marine Corps. However, I do have a coworker that works the exact same job as I do, and he legitimately loves being a communicator with all his heart. As a matter of fact, he talks about it every day, and usually, as you all know, or as some of you know, I'm a recruiter for the Marine Corps. He tends to tell kids, if you're looking to do something interesting, become a radio operator or a communication specialist, which is what we both are. But aside from that, I think that the best one for me would be anything in the media portion of the Marine Corps. This question. So, why didn't Sergeant Major like me? Brother, I have no clue who you are. That's a funny question though. And the simple answer to that question is, it's not in their job description to really like anybody, man. They're in charge of taking care of personnel, brother. They will look out for you. They will have your back. They will do whatever it is necessary to make sure that you have career progression. However, them liking you isn't in their job description. So to keep that plain and simple. All right. Here we go. More personal questions. I like this one. Here we go. What are three things? What are three things? What are three things? Okay, here we go. There we go. What are three things you would teach your younger self? Does it have to be three? Can it be one? So one thing, let me write a number one so I can remember that I'm already telling you answers for one of them. So one thing I would tell my younger self is that no one is obligated to love or care for you, and that you should not base your own personal value off whether or not someone loves or cares for you. It's not an easy concept to understand as a young man because when we're very young, a lot of our early development is based off how people love and care for us, and we start to develop our own opinions about ourselves based off those things. So if I could go back and tell myself one thing, the main thing would be you shouldn't validate yourself or use other people's opinions or love for you as validations for how you should feel about yourself. All right. Number two would be save your money. Don't spend your money, because this is the thing. I don't come from a very financially literate background. My mom was a single mother. She had 4 children. She did what she could to make sure to take care of us. However, I don't think that there was much education on how to spend your money once you start making money. And in the very early years of my Marine Corps career, I kind of squandered my money away. I thought, money grows on trees. I finally have it. I'm going to spend it because, you know what, it's fun. But at the end of the day, human life expectancy is about 75 to 85 years old. And if you're going to make sure that you're taken care of and your family is taken care of into the foreseeable future, you want to make sure that you're handling your finances appropriately. And thankfully, the Marine Corps provides you with financial literacy classes and different options where someone can sit down with you and discuss with you, your financial literacy. So that would be number 2. And number 3, I would have to say, treat people the way you want to be treated. It took a long time for me to, develop this idea and mindset that, everyone is unique and everyone is dealing with their own issues, and you have no clue what other people are dealing with. So regardless of whether or not someone is, having a bad day and expressing that energy at you or onto you, that you shouldn't respond in a negative manner, because you never know what it is that they're going through, and that you should always take a step back and look at both sides of the picture before you respond to anything. I think that one annoys my wife a little bit, just for the simple fact that I do take a little bit of time to sit back and think about everything before I respond. And I think sometimes she's like, well, where's the raw emotion at? And I think that there are times where raw emotion is necessary, but more times than not, you should sit back, think about what it is that you're experiencing and respond to it appropriately. So 3 things I would tell my younger self if I could go back in time. All right. If you could time travel, when would you go? Or at what period of, basically this question is asking if I could time travel, what period of time would I travel to? To be honest, this one scares me. I don't think I would leave. But if I could go to the past or the future, it would definitely be the future. I'd much rather see what the future has in store, vice, reliving some of the things that I have grown and developed out of or from. So that one's a weird one for me. I wouldn't go anywhere if I didn't have to, but if you made me choose, I'd say I'd go to the future at some point just to get a glimpse of, what we do as a species and as a human race to advance our life. What are your hobbies outside of the military? Next question. So outside of the military, I used to play basketball a lot. It used to be what I wanted to do prior to becoming a Marine, except for I stopped growing at 5'7", and I don't know if you watch basketball, but there aren't too many 5'7" basketball players on the court nowadays. However, aside from that, I'm doing it right now. I really, really do enjoy, spreading information and helping people see the more positive side of life. I feel that there's more than enough negative going around in the world, and I like to, at any point that I can, insert a little positivity into everybody's life. So I do intend and have aspirations to be a motivational speaker, number 1. Number 2, and I love doing videography and photography. If recruiting duty wasn't taking so much of my time, which is not a bad thing, I really do enjoy what I do, I would do a whole lot more of creating these videos and taking more photos. At some point I'm imagining that we'll figure the system out as far as recruiting duty goes, and I will have a lot more time to do that, which oddly enough segues right into the next question, where someone asked me what made me choose recruiting. So here in the United States Marine Corps, you have a few options for secondary billets, which is, one is drill instructor. Those are the ones that go around and they mold the young men and young women that I find into becoming Marines. And then there's recruiters, which is me. And then I believe MSG is considered a B billet right now. Don't mark my words on that. Don't quote me on that. And then combat training, the instructors for that school, that's considered a B billet or a secondary MOS as well. And out of all those, I chose recruiting duty. I chose to be a recruiter for the United States Marine Corps simply for the fact that this is a photo of me prior to becoming a United States Marine. This is me as a United States Marine. And the difference is night and day. I grew up in a city, Arlington, Texas, that was relatively small. I didn't foresee myself leaving that city. I thought that I was going to be there. I was probably going to find a job. Prior to joining the Marine Corps, I worked a lot of odd jobs, warehouse jobs. I wasn't really doing anything. Legitimately, I was kind of just going to work in order to get my paycheck to pay for my apartment that legitimately all I did was sleep in to wake up to go to work. And it was just a vicious cycle of doing that. And it was starting to feel like that was going to be life for me. I mean, I imagine at some point I would have met a young lady. We would have, found interest in one another, and she would have added a new dynamic to my life. But aside from that, the main, foundation of what I felt was going to be happening was that the work, paycheck, sleep, work, paycheck, sleep. And by chance, I ran into a United States Marine Corps recruiter, and here I sit in front of you as a 31-year-old, 11 years into my career, 9 years away from retirement. If the Marine Corps allows me to stick around, maybe a few more years. And I couldn't have asked for a better future from the one that I envisioned for myself prior to becoming a Marine. So with that being said, if I have the opportunity to spread what I know about the Marine Corps and enlighten young men and young women about the perks of, or the things that you can receive or the lifestyle that you can have from becoming a United States Marine, why wouldn't I do that? And I think that this is my version of paying it forward. And to be honest, it does allow me an opportunity to kind of dabble in what I want to do in my life, and that's be a motivational speaker. I have plenty of instances where I get up in front of people. It pushes you out your comfort zone, and it makes you do things that you normally wouldn't do, that for me are really uncomfortable things, like going and walking up and talking to random people. I can do it when there's no agenda, but when there's agenda, it gets real weird. But that also breaks you out your shell and makes it to where when there is no agenda, it makes it even that much easier to go and approach random people and talk to them. But overall, the reason why I chose recruiting duty was because I felt like it did a humongous service to my life, and I would love to offer that same service to other young men and young women. So that's why I chose recruiting duty out of all the B billets or secondary MOSs available in the Marine Corps. And last but not least, how was Oki, and do you plan on going back? This one is funny because originally I had no desire to go to Okinawa, Japan. Not even a little bit. I was trying to go on recruiting duty. My orders got denied because I had a tattoo on my hand. I got it removed, but at the time it was on my hand. They wouldn't allow me to go on recruiting duty, so they gave me orders to Okinawa, Japan, and I was completely discontent. But it turned out to be one of the better duty stations that I had. I enjoyed living out there. Me and my wife got married out there. I had a beautiful young daughter out there. And, that's where the foundation of my family started. It was beautiful. The culture is so different. It's not as high speed and aggressive as it is here in the United States. Legitimately, from the moment I landed here in the United States, coming back from me living in Japan, I think that I heard more horns get honked in 5 minutes than I did the entire time I was living in Japan. And that just goes to show that they're a lot more subtle and easygoing. But Japan was fantastic. I do plan on going back. Like I said, my youngest daughter was born there, and I think that it would be amazing to be able to take her back and have her get a little bit of that experience and, see the place that she was born in, or the, place that she was born. And so, yeah, I do intend to take me and my family back there and, just enjoy that a little bit more. But that is all the questions that I have. If you all have any more questions or want to know anything, please feel free to drop some questions in the comments. I will make sure I respond to them as soon as I possibly can. If you haven't went and watched my other videos, please go check my other videos out. Do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I intend to make this much more of a normal thing, me posting videos. I say it every time I make a video, but I really do mean that the intent is there. I just don't have the time. When I do find time, I always create a video. But yeah, so if there's any videos that you would like to see by me, something that you would like me to talk about or discuss my opinion on, please drop that in the comments too. And until next time, peace, love, and happiness, y'all. Hope y'all have a wonderful day.